Hey, this is your girl, msyelladiva. I am bringing you another episode of BMF, Season 4, Episode 5. Okay, let me get this hair. Um, if you are new here, welcome. Welcome. We do reviews here. Okay. All right. And if you're returning, welcome back. Welcome back. All right, now, give me a thumbs up, like and share and comment and subscribe to my channel, and we will begin. All right. Okay, so they back in Mexico again. They always in Mexico at the beginning of every episode. They always in Mexico. They back in Mexico again. They bathing in the front yard on the porch. They sitting in bath water. Well, Meech is in the bath water. So so they bathing outside. You remember that 600-pound life where that man had to bathe? He had to bathe his wife outside because she was so big. She was on the back porch and he was like hitting her with the water hose and shit. And then he had the soap. I'm sorry. You remember that 600-pound life? Anyway. So that's what came to mind when when I saw him in the tub outside. Anyway, it's a little boy in the bushes. And so they trying to, get him out the bushes, trying to figure out what's going on. And so Loco come out. He was like, this is a federale. And so he was about to choke this boy out. So the boy T and Meech was like, wait a minute, this is a little boy. He was like, no, he a spy. He worked for the federales. The little boy like this shot my brother and stuff like that. He was like, he worked for the federale. He was about to choke his ass up. Okay. So that was a good part, okay. But y'all trying to getting caught by the federales every 5 minutes. And y'all escape. That's always too much for me. But anyway, so back to the A. So Stomping Ground Records, they got some Purdy CDs. They trying to sell them out the trunk of their car, and in the park, and whatever, however they do it. I think MC Hammer did that. When he was trying to get his music together. I think somebody else did that. So, that's how they get their music played. I think what's his name, Master P. I think he did it too. But anyway, so in the D, T confronts Markeisha on her seeing Boom and seeing the cop vent. So Markeisha was like, listen, I got Isaac from Boom. And she said, and I went to see him to see if he had anything to do with this thing. And she said, and also cop Vince, I needed to know why Isaac was picked up. And he said that he was picked up for embezzlement and he had nothing to do with them. Okay. So she was like, I'm just trying to make sure we are safe. And so she was like, I love you, T. I love you. And so they kissed and stuff, whatever. They made a smash. We don't know. Charles thanks his boss for giving him, for hiring him back, and give him some more shifts. When he got back. And so he was like, but now I'm going back on tour. And he was like, listen, I done stuck my neck out for you, everything like that. And now you going back on tour. He was like, so next time when you come back, don't call me. Cause we done basically. And so he said, so yeah, but he going back on tour. We'll see. Okay. So Nicole, while he is working at the plant, and while uh, Lucille has an all night prayer service, Nicole is having a party at their house. She invited all these people, but Nicole takes Worm up to her room to smash. Okay, now mind you, all these people downstairs. Okay, so she gonna take. Now we don't know what the hell they doing downstairs. Okay, they could be robbing her blind or whatever, but she gonna take Worm upstairs to smash. So T get a word of this party that's going on. So he come in and break up the damn party because that's still his house. Okay. So he was like, "Where Nicole at? Where Nicole at?" So Worm go jump into the closet, trying to hide. So T bust in. He gon' see this blunt on the nightstand and see these big ass shoes on the floor. So he go look in the closet. He found Worm. He beat his ass, throw him down the damn stairs. And Nicole smacks T and says, "I hate you." But he said, if he is here again, if I ever hear you speaking with him, I'm gonna kill him. Listen, that's how my daddy did me. That's how my daddy did me, okay? All right. I tried to sneak a boy in the house, okay? And he opened the door, and I stood there like this. "Hi, Daddy." I said I was just walking him to the bus stop. Yeah. "Hi, Daddy." And I came back in, and I tried to walk to my room. He said, listen, little girl." He said, "If I'd have caught him in this house with you," he said, "I would have killed him. I would have killed him. And I'd have broke your neck." I said, "God damn, you gonna make me a paraplegic?" And he was gonna kill my boyfriend. Mind you, I've never, ever, 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 ever tried to sneak a boy in the house ever again. Not in my daddy house. Now my mama house, something different. My mama house, something different. But daddy house, no. No, 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 no. Okay. So I get it. I get it. So Lamar, I swear to God, we need to kill Lamar because I'm so tired of him. Anyway, so he's trying to lift weights, shoulder leaking, blood everywhere, but he's still trying to lift weights. So, we go to Atlanta. They about to hear Purdy's song on the radio for the first time. Duffy has to tell Meech that he got to get out of town since he saw Brian at the strip club, and so he thinks Brian on to him, so he got to get the fuck out of town. So Purdy's song is supposed to come on at 10 a.m. and it doesn't, and somebody named Damien came on instead, and so leaving everybody speechless. Yeah. So Charles gets dumped by CC because she just needs to know where all this anger came from. When he beat the hell out of this boy, her ex-husband. He beat him to an inch of his life. Okay. And she want to know where is all this anger coming from. She was like, "No, we can't do this. We can't do this because, you been snapped on me and you beat and killed me." So, no. She dumps him. Okay. Meech and T go to the radio station and want to know. They done paid good money for him to play this song, but apparently Trail blocked it. She said apparently they didn't have a release um, for Purdy's contract on so they had to go back to Trail to talk to him about why they ain't putting nothing on the radio. Anyway, so Trail tells them that yeah, you got the artist, but I have all her rights to her public performances. Okay, so yeah, you can make all the music you want with her. Okay, but your music cannot be played, or she cannot perform her music uh, without clearance from me. Okay, so basically, they got an artist that they can't promote, they can't do nothing with because unless they talk to Trail. Okay, and so T was like, "How much to get her release?" Period. And so he writes. Well, he writes a number down. We don't know what the number is. Okay. So he basically Trail said, "Get to stepping." Okay, in the words of Martin, "Get to stepping." In the words of Martin Lawrence or Martin, "Get to stepping." Yeah. So basically, he said, "Get to stepping." All right. So Brian at the police station, and the Red Dog cop came up and told him that one of the dancers is there in the interrogation room. They picked her up for, I don't know, prostitution or something. They picked her up, and so she's in the interrogation room, and so so he says, you can have a, crack at her, see if you can find the person Don Ginkgo's name, even though I don't understand why they don't know her name, his name. Okay, if he wanted for murder up in the D, you should know his name. I don't know. So you just going coming down. He looked like him. I don't even know. Okay. I don't know how you don't know his government name, but he trying to find out the government name of Don Ginkgo. Okay, basically. So basically, Brian goes in there. He uses her kids to get the name of the government name of Duffy. Okay, because he says, if it's the third strike and they gonna get taken away forever, if you don't give us her name. I've been like, fuck them kids. I was on crack when I when I was pregnant with them. Fuck them kids and raggedy ass bastard kids. I've been like, they could take them away. Fuck them, okay, and fuck you too, okay. But no, she gave Duffy's I don't even know if Duffy's his real name either, but she gave him Duffy's government name, okay. So T is trying to gamble some money to get Purdy to pay what's his name, to pay Trail for Purdy. He trying to gamble. He done lost his shirt. B. Calls T, tells T that St. Louis is grimy and pushes off sides. Basically, that's what he said, off sides. And the Muslims, I call them the Zulu Nation, as far as I'm concerned, but the Muslims, they're on. He said some nation domination trip or something like that. So I don't know what's going on in St. Louis. Okay, but we already know Jay Pusher is grimy. We already know that. So B Mickey said he got to go home because his daughter's surgery is tomorrow. He said, "Well, I'll be back soon as I find out what's going on with her and if she's okay." But T first he was up. He was like, "No, you gotta stay. You gotta stay." And so B Mick said, "From one father to another." And so he was like, "No, you go home, take care of your business." So Charles, he's so excited. He going on tour. He get his little guitar from the pawn shop, and so then he sees Lucille's wedding ring in there, and so he's like, "Let me see this ring over here." And um, so then the guy pulls out. He was like, "Yeah, this nice looking red bone brought it in here." He was like, "I can't understand, he said, what poor man let her go?" And so the look on the look on Charles' face said that he was the poor man that let her go. Okay. And so when he looked at her, he was like, "Oh, okay. Well, here's your guitar." Yeah, the look on her face says that he was the one that let her go. Okay. So anyway, Loco tells Meech that Jay Pusher is grimy and cannot be trusted. Okay, because he wanted to do business with just them and not you. Okay, so Loco was like, "Listen, I'm your brother. Okay, you could trust me, but this little motherfucker right here, you cannot trust." And so Meech was like, you know what? Bet we gonna handle it. Basically, we gonna handle it. We gonna handle it. So Nicole is pregnant by Breeze, allegedly. Okay. Because she been smashing Worm. Okay. Now, she said, she smashed Breeze 3 months ago. Okay. So she pregnant by Breeze. But you don't know how long you've been pregnant. You could be a month pregnant or 3 months pregnant. We don't know. Okay. But what we do know is it's either Worms or Breezes. Okay. One of the two. Okay. So then she upset because she said what she doing, what she gonna do about this scholarship. Her mama gonna be upset. Um, her dad is going to be upset, and he gonna be disappointed and all that other stuff. So we'll see. We'll see. Meech and his girl Maria. Um, they talk about how it was growing up and things like that. And so Meech saying that he started a record label because his dad was in the music industry, and he following his footsteps. And so she said, and so she was just like, she just trying to get him to trying to get him to trust her. And so she was like, "Yeah, I see you." And so then he grabs her neck like this. I cannot stand men who grab your face like that. That I don't know what that is. I'll be like, don't have your hands on my face like that. That's not. I don't like it. I just don't like it. I don't know. It just feel like you too close to trying to choke me. I don't no, and that may be a trauma. That may be a trauma that I've had since growing up, because my dad used to abuse my mom, and I've seen her get choked. I don't. Nah. Don't put your hands on my neck like that. Don't put your hands on like. But that's just me. Anyway, T come break up the party anyway. and tell him that we need a plan B because I done lost all the money gambling. Okay. So we need a plan B, okay, to find out how we gonna get Trail to sign these papers, okay. So boom, gets released or escaped. We don't know. We don't know if he got released or if he escaped. But he is in Marquisha's apartment. Okay. Marquisha like, what the hell? Yes. Okay. We don't know if he escaped or if he got released. But he's in Marquisha's apartment. Okay. All right. So, as soon as they hugged, he wanted to smash, so he bent her over. Where we go? Can I put my balls in your jaw? Okay, they smash. Okay, moving on. Um. All right. So, being speaking of being in people's houses. Okay. Um. The plan B is they go into Trail's house. Okay, so when Trail come home, Meech sitting on his couch. Okay, and so then the bodyguard pull out his gun, but little Bobby Brown pulls out a chopper, a gold, no, a Gucci wrapped chopper. Okay, mind you, it's a Gucci wrap chopper. Okay. Yeah. So he put that gun on the ground, because if not, he'd got lit up. Okay. So so they all these guns come out, and so they basically uh strong armed Trail into signing these papers. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right. Um the ladies asked, because it was Tina, Purdy, and Maria. They talking, and they asked Purdy why she stopped singing. And so Purdy said that her foster parents made her sing on the streets for money. And so and then Trail walked by and heard her singing. And apparently he also noticed that the foster dad, was looking at her a little too hard. And so he, you know, to took her away from all that. And so she basically thought of him as an angel, and he's this and that. But then he come to find out he was worse than her foster parents, because he would beat the shit out of her if she hit the wrong note or something like that. Like Ike and Tina Turner. If come on, Ann, come on. Okay, yeah. So he was basically like Ike Turner. So it is what it is. Okay. So yeah. So that's the reason why she stopped singing, and she wanted to be a rapper. So Lamar visited his cousin. Okay. His cousin that owned the funeral home. Okay. So he like, man, this is still hurting, and so he was like, I think it's infected. He was like, can you clean it up and everything like that? So he cleaned it up and everything like that, put a new bandage on it. Good for him. And so then he asked, when I OD'd or whatever, Meech said, thank you for bringing him here, because his cousin, basically framed Lamar. And so he was like, man, and so he was trying to explain himself, but he couldn't explain himself. So basically, he got cremated, basically. Lamar threw him in the furnace to be cremated, okay? And that's basically what it is, okay? So he couldn't explain himself. He got cremated, okay? All right, moving on. Okay. Hey. Yeah. All right. You on to Jesus, baby. When you is on to Jesus. Man, that's a bad way to go. That's a bad way to go. Anyway, B Mickey, and his and Aisha and Lucille and Charles are all at the surgery center. And so Charles asked Lucille why she pawned the wedding ring. I'm like, she needed the money. Why would she not pawn the wedding ring? But she said she had no use for it. She needed the money, Charles. You not coming up with this money. She needed the money because you living in her house or in their house or whatever, and she can't get no welfare. She needed the money, damn it. But she said she had no use for it. Charles was like, you could have gave it to Nicole, and so she was like, she don't need that wedding ring. That's the wedding ring is tarnished. I know that's right. She said, I want her to have a fresh start. Well, she about to have a fresh start because she is pregnant, but we gonna leave that alone. Duffy's trying to get his loose ends together and get out of town, and so him and Meech are going somewhere, and the cops block him in, and so they get in a car chase, and the car flips, and so Duffy and Meech get out. And they run. They split up and get out and they run. And Duffy get caught and Meech get away. Because it's Meech's show. So Meech is going to always get away. Okay? Duffy got caught. Okay? But Meech going to get away. Okay? Because it's his show. So Maria. So once he get popped, Meech is in this house smoking weed, looking somber. So Maria wants to, he wants to be closer to him. She asked about him and he was like, Duffy got popped and everything like that. And so she was like, she said she knows what she does and he can lean on her. He said, so you can tell me whatever you want to tell me. It will stay with me or whatever, unless the cops come and blackmail you or something. Other than that, it'll stay with her until the cops blackmail her or something. Okay, so she said, you can lean on me when you're not strong. Yeah, and then they smash. Okay, moving on. All right. So speaking of smashed, Charles is at the plant. All right, he's trying to teach some young person how to move parts safely. But he turned to the one guy, because one guy spoke to him. He turned to him and the guy smashed his hand up under that big ass car park. Okay, all right, it was, and so he yelling and screaming. He says it's probably broken. So he will not be going on tour. Oh, mission failed. Okay. Okay. Yeah, he won't be going on tour. Okay, I'm sorry. All right. So they're planning a party for they're doing a party for Purdy since she can perform now since they got the sign off. So they're doing it at the strip club. And so now mind you, Trail's bodyguard is in the building, okay? But Meech After this, Meech going to St. Louis. He got to handle some business over there. So Meech tells T that Duffy got arrested, and so he was like, "Is he gonna talk?" He was like, "No, he's Fort Knox. He ain't gonna talk." Okay, good, because you know Maria gonna talk soon as they arrest her. Anyway, so they get up on stage. Purdy starts rapping, and the song was not kind of nice. And then she called Meech and T up on stage. Why, we don't know, but they call him. And so then Trail's boy got to shooting, and shooting on stage or whatever. And then Purdy got shot. Okay, I don't know why they don't have metal detectors. Okay. They should have had metal detectors. I think they have metal detectors in all the strip clubs. I know I when I went to strip club, I know Strokers got a metal detector. I know Magic City and all the rest of them should have metal detectors. So I don't know. I said they should have had a metal detector. But anyway, he got a gun in there somehow. Okay. and got and shot up on stage, and Purdy got shot. That goddamn net is getting on my last nerve. Yeah. So that's it. That's it. She got shot. She leaking on stage. Hopefully she don't succumb to her injuries. Okay, but it is what it is. So I will see you next week on BMF. Give me a thumbs up, like and share and comment and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.